Hi everybody and welcome back. Today it's a bit like a spag lesson, but it's more of a language lesson. We've been thinking quite a lot just recently about the history of our language and where our language comes from. And that's a really interesting thing because the more we know about that, the more we will be able to learn about the language of English. So we're going to carry on with that a little bit today, and we are going to look at some of the Latin words that live all around us. You might not believe me, but you actually speak quite a lot of Latin. So lots of people call Latin a dead language. It's not. It's living, it's breathing, and you speak quite a lot of it. So before we get into the video, what I'd like for you to do is to pause and to write your date and your learning objective in your home learning book, and then we'll get going. Okay, so well done for doing that. Before we move on, we're going to have a little look at this map up here. We have looked at this map a little bit before, but this map shows us it's a map of Europe during right at the height of the Roman Empire. So Romans had been around for hundreds of years by this point. And it wasn't always the Roman Empire, it was the Roman Republic before that. But as we've spoken about before, the Roman armies gradually took over larger and larger parts of Europe. And you can see down here at the bottom, this is actually what we would call Egypt today. So they even went as far as North Africa, and they were in charge of huge parts of the world. So a force to be reckoned with, for sure. Now, there are some names on here that you may not recognise. So, Gallia, for example, it's France. It was actually called Gaul before it was called France, and it was taken over by the Franks, and that's where the tribe, the Franks, and that's where the name France comes from. And it was actually the Franks. They invaded Britain in the Norman conquest, and that's how come we've got a lot of Latin in our language too. So all you guys need to remember is that the Romans came from Rome, which is here, the capital city of Italy, and it still is the capital city today. And they marched all over Europe and into Northern Africa and took over vast swathes of land and were in charge for a long, long time. When I say a long time, I mean hundreds of years. Okay, and they invaded Great Britain twice. The first time wasn't quite so successful, but they were about in Great Britain, and we are up here. Look, Great Britain is up here, and the Romans were in Great Britain for hundreds of years. So they had a huge influence on us, on our towns, on how we built things, and of course on our language as well. So that's what we're going to think about today. So just having a look at that map, I've explained a little bit about this already, but of course we had the Romans. The Roman soldiers are thought to have dressed a little something like this. Obviously this is a modern photograph, and there were parts of Latin and other languages during the Dark Ages and the early Middle Ages as well. But the real time when we started to have a lot more Latin in our language was after the Norman conquest in 1066, when the Normans came and invaded Great Britain. And of course, they had a lot of Latin in their language, in French, because they were the Franks, remember? And they brought that with them when they invaded this country. So we have a lot of Latin in our language, and it is so handy to learn it. So what we are going to do is we are going to look at some Latin words, and I'm actually going to move this one because he's hiding behind my face there. Hold on a moment. I'm going to move myself about so that you can see the words more clearly. So we're just going to have a little think about some of these words. I've just put 4 Latin words on the screen, and they are very, very close to the English. as you can see. So the Latin word for school, schola, and I'm sure that you can tell that sounds a lot like English, and actually it sounds quite a lot like the French as well, l'école. And you might speak another language and you might think, oh, that sounds quite similar in my language too. I know we're really lucky because we have lots and lots of children who speak loads of different languages, which is really, really clever. So you might be thinking, actually, the word is quite similar in my home language as well. So that would be really interesting to find out about. Okay. Now, as some of you know, I am a huge fan of a certain book and film series about a young wizard. You might know him. I've actually got some glasses that make me look quite a lot like him. I'm not wearing them today, and I don't have the scar. Can you think of the film that I am thinking of? It's called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And as we know, a beast is a creature, an animal. So the Latin word for animal is bestia, bestia. And it sounds a lot like beast, doesn't it? A beast or a creature. And of course, in the film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is part of the Harry Potter franchise, in that film, it's all about these magical creatures, these magical animals. So I'm sure you can see the link there between the Latin word bestia and the English word beast. Okay, we've got another word here, finis, obviously meaning finish. So when you finish a race. So the English word and the Latin word sound really, really similar. And that is because we have inherited that word from Latin when they invaded. So all of these words are linked. Are you starting to believe me that you speak a little bit of Latin now? This last word up here, if you are lucky enough to have ever been on a nice sunny holiday, and maybe one day you're dreaming of going on a lovely sunny holiday to somewhere hot and warm, I know I am. Wouldn't it be amazing if you had lots and lots of money to spend and you stayed in a beautiful villa like this? Villa. So a villa is a house, a home, and that is where the Romans lived. They called them Roman villas. And in fact, when they invaded this country, we actually had some Roman-style villas built in this country, and you can visit the ruins of them today. They're not standing properly anymore, but you can go and see them in places like Verulamium, which is called St. Albans now. So a villa is a house or a home, and we use that word now when we talk about homes and places to live on holiday. I might say something like, oh, I went to Spain last summer and I stayed in a gorgeous villa with a pool and a barbecue, and I sunbathed outside my villa every single day. And I might say, the villa had 10 bedrooms and I took all my friends and I got a lovely suntan whilst I was staying at my villa in Spain. So that might be a word that you have heard of before. And again, you might find that if you speak another language at home, there is a word that sounds quite similar in your language. So if there is, I would love to know about it. Okay, so I am going to give you a challenge today. And before I do explain what your challenge is, I am going to direct you to the most amazing website. It's called Maximus Classics, and everything that I've talked about in this lesson today, including the worksheets, all of the information, and loads more, is available for free on this website. This is the most amazing organisation full of experts, and they provide resources for children like you to learn the classics, to learn Latin, to learn ancient Greek. And they are just the most amazing group of people. So I wanted to direct you to their website before I explain your task. I will put a little link in the description box below. So if you're interested to find out more, And if you have the permission of a parent or carer, of course, we know about RE safety. It's really important to check these things out. But if they are happy and if you would like to go and have a look on their website, then please feel free to do so and check out that link. So, your challenge for today. Okay. Oh, I keep getting in the way of my screen, guys. I do apologise. Let me move up here. I hope you can see all the words. See, people in my class will be thinking, oh, Mrs. Thompson, that's typical of you. Forgetting to move the words around. So, your challenge today. Now, if you are in the class that I teach in or in the other Year 4 class at school, I am going to be sending you a worksheet on your home learning schedule. But if you are lucky enough to have a printer at home and you would like to get the original worksheet from Maximus Classics, then you are absolutely welcome to do that. And I'll make sure that you know where to look for that worksheet, below. But if you are in my class at school or in the other Year 4 class, then I will make sure that is available to you in your home learning schedule. So you will be given some pictures with English words next to them, okay? And you will also be given some Latin words. And it is your job to think really carefully about how you could match the picture and the English word together and find the Latin word that goes together with that English word. And I think you'll be surprised at how many you are able to do. Now, you can do it by joining up the lines with a ruler, using a ruler to match the picture and the word. If you would prefer, you can cut out the Latin words and stick them next to the English word and the picture. Or alternatively, if you're feeling a bit creative and you fancy creating a beautiful poster, then you can draw the pictures and write the Latin and the English next to them. It is completely up to you. Secretly, I would absolutely love to show our head teacher how brainy our Year 4s are by creating some posters in Latin. How impressive would that be? You guys are so brainy. So if you're feeling a bit crafty and you quite fancy doing that, I would be so impressed and I would love to put them up on the walls. But if you don't have paper and crayons at home, but you are still looking to complete this task, then joining up with a ruler, joining those lines up, drawing lines to join the pictures up, that's absolutely fine too. You are going to still be learning the same thing. So that is your challenge. Match the pictures and the English to the Latin words. I bet you can do it. Now, there is a red hot chili challenge down there. If you are feeling super brainy, I would love to see some of you guys have a go at this. If you finish, you are going to try to think of some more English words that come from Latin. Okay, so I would love for you to have a go at that, and you can add those to your posters too. So well done on today's lesson. Have an amazing day. I can't wait to see your work. You know what I'm like. I'm a bit of a word person. I love words, love a bit of language, and I am so impressed at how much you guys have learned. So I cannot wait to see your work today. Have an amazing day, make good choices, and make sure you are carrying on making us proud, just like you have been. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.